This app went from 0 to 50k per month in under a year, climbed to number 1 in Lithuania, number 3 in the UK, and number 15 in the United States. It even won an award at the World Summit Awards. But here's the crazy part. I just cloned it in 30 minutes using nothing but AI. And you're probably thinking that this sounds like clickbait, but it's not. And I'm about to prove it by building this exact app live, using my 6-step process to build any app using AI. And by the end of this video, you will have a fully working app published and ready to start making money. Now, before we start building, let me show you exactly what we're cloning and why it works. So this app is called RatePunk. It's a cheap flight lookup and hotel booking tool that went from 0 to $50,000 a month in MRR in under a year. But why did this app work so well? Because there's 3 criteria that every viral app follows, including RatePunk. First, they solve a common frustrating problem. So RatePunk solves the problem of overpaying for hotels. Since people hate feeling ripped off, they use tools that save them money. Second, they keep it simple. RatePunk's core functionality can be explained in 3 words, because users can understand it easily. A third, they are shareable. When someone saves $200 on a hotel, they tell all of their friends, and that's essentially free marketing. Now let's build it. So the first thing we need to do is to create a detailed prompt to feed into our AI builder. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. AI builders are like super efficient workers, but they need crystal clear instruction. The better your prompt, the better your app. So we are going to use a tool called Braindumper that makes this dead simple, and of course it's completely free to use. Now all you need to do is just to enter in your basic idea for your app, just like I am doing right here. Then just choose the AI builder that you're using. So in this case, we'll use base44. Now click on generate build plan and then just wait for a bit. Just after a few seconds, Braindumper has generated a detailed comprehensive prompt that contains everything base44 needs to start building the actual app. Okay, now let's see what happens when we feed this into our AI builder. Now let's head over to base44. I'm going to paste the prompt right here in the chat and hit this generate button. And now let's just watch what happens. Behind the scenes, base44 is analyzing our prompt, breaking it down into components, designing the UI, writing the code, and setting up the database all automatically. And this is work that would normally take a team of developers days, but we're getting it done in seconds. And just like that, this is our first version. I find this really impressive because any web developer will tell you that creating a page like this can easily take days of planning, design, and coding. And here we are with a pretty solid app in just a few minutes. Now while this is good, there are still a few things we need to do to turn this into a real moneymaker. Iteration 1, improving the UI. So the first thing we'll do is to improve the UI, because here's the thing, first impressions matter. If your app looks generic or boring, users will leave before they even try it. So the first thing I want to do is to tell base44 to make my app look very similar to RatePunk, because their design is proven to work. And now just watch what happens. After a few minutes, this is what our updated landing page looks like, but we can push this even further. Let me ask for a few more tweaks, maybe some cool transition effects, smoother animations, and a more modern font. Just enter the prompt in the bot like before and hit this button and then just wait. Now just like that, our app looks a lot more premium and professional. And keep in mind that we haven't written a single line of code so far. Okay, so now that the UI is finished, now let's fix the dashboard. To do this, I'm going to use the image feature that base44 has. So basically, I'm going to upload a design mockup of how I want the dashboard to look, like I'm doing right here. And I'll also add some text for some guidance. This is what we end up with. It looks very similar to the image I gave to base44 while also being original. This is just perfect. And now let's add the Auth system so that users can actually log in and use our app. Iteration 3, adding authentication. Now all we need to do is to tell base44 to add an authentication feature on the landing page so that only logged in users can view the dashboard and interact with the core feature. Now let me just type that instruction and then hit generate. By the way, building a secure authentication flow is something that takes a competent developers a few days to complete. Any developer will tell you that you need to handle user registration, login and log out, password hashing, session management, just to make a working authentication. But base44 does it all in lightning speed, and you don't even have to think about anything. And just like that, our Auth system is working perfectly. Now we have an app that is starting to feel like a real software that users can actually interact with. So now let's do something important. Let's add the features that will actually make us money. Iteration 4, adding premium features. RatePunk charges people for hotel bookings. So now let's have base44 build out that feature in our app with just a few differences. So our users should be able to pay for flights, buy bundle deals, and deal upgrades from the dashboard. That will create a nice revenue stream for our app. So I'll make this prompt a bit detailed and then hit generate. And after a few minutes, this new feature is done and working beautifully. I've had to implement this sort of feature before and it was time consuming and difficult, yet base44 now does it without any problems. Okay, now let me show you a cool trick to make this app even better, using OpenClaw to generate feature idea. I'm going to open OpenClaw and ask it to visit our hotel app and tell me which features I could add to make it more similar to RatePunk. Because after a few minutes, it listed out some great ideas, all of these are really good features that we could implement. I think that the hotel listing and booking feature is the best one. We can charge verified users to list hotels after a verification process. Now implementing this feature is as simple as entering the instruction into base 44 and waiting a few minutes while it's getting built. Okay, so now the whole feature is integrated in our app. It's also affordable, making this kind of product development accessible to everyone. Okay, now at this point, an MVP of our app is ready. But there's one more crucial thing we need to do before releasing: performance and security audit. Okay, so here's the thing. Nothing will destroy your hard work faster than an insecure app that freezes when people use it. Making an app secure and fast is so important that big software companies employ entire teams dedicated to these tasks. And even if you don't have the budget, skill, or time to do this, Base 44 can perform this audit for you. So let me just ask Base 44 to handle these tasks and generate detailed reports of what it found and fixed. And now after a few moments, this is the report it produced. You can now use this report to improve the performance of your app very fast. But for now, I will just release the app and start adding the features and fixes that users point out. Building is 5% of the work. Marketing and customer support is 95% of the work. And I'll also teach you how to market this app shortly so that you can get your first few users. But before that, let's get this app published. Deploying the web app. Okay, so Base 44 makes deploying the web app incredibly easy. All you have to do is just to click this publish button right here, and this dialog box will show up, allowing you to configure the URL. Now clicking the manage button takes you to this page where you can connect a custom domain or edit the built-in domain. Now let's edit our domain to something more suitable for the app that we're making. I'll just change it to this, but you can use whatever you want. Now after this change is made, we can click on this publish app button. Our app is now live on the internet. Anyone can visit this URL and start using the app right now, converting to a mobile app. But actually we should also convert our web app into an iOS and Android app as well. This way we can get more users when we publish the app to the App Store. And Base 44 makes this extremely easy to do as well. Back in the publish window, this mobile tab gives you the option to convert your web app into either Android app or iOS app. Since for now we want to make an iOS app, let's click on this tab. For this you will need an Apple developer account to get all of the details that you need to input here. Now after you submit all of the required files and hit publish, all that's left is just to wait for Apple to review your app. And if all goes well, they will publish the app to the App Store. And the process is similar when creating an Android app. Just follow the prompts, hit submit, and Base 44 will do the actual submission to the Play Store. And just like that, you have a fully functional web app, Android app, and iOS app, and mobile apps for both iOS and Android ready to generate revenue. Because now let me teach you how to get your first few users like I promised before. Okay, so to do that, let's see what Ratepunk is already doing themselves. So Ratepunk is leaning heavily into making content that shows real savings, simple demos of how the app works, and short form videos explaining how people overpay for hotels. Their main marketing strategy is creating social proof. It's a very powerful positioning. We're going to build a UGC engine from day one. So the first step is to reverse engineer where our users currently are on social media. And our users are people who travel, people who look for hotel deals, and people who hate overpaying. And these people are usually watching TikTok travel hacks, Instagram Reels travel pages, YouTube Shorts about cheap flights, and maybe even Reddit travel threads. So then we'll start finding UGC creators who are already famous on all of these platforms. We want creators who have anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 followers. They also need a good camera presence and are already talking about travel or money saving apps. So once you find creators like that, you need to send them a DM saying something like this: hey, I built a hotel comparison app that helps users avoid overpaying. I'd love to give you premium access in exchange for a short demo video, and that way you're not paying for a video. Instead, you're just giving out free access to a select few people who in return will give you more users. But if you just send out enough DMs to creators, eventually one of them will click, and then you can just reinvest the money you got from that creator to pay for new creators. You collect 10 to 20 of these videos, then you post them on your own pages, use them on your landing page, test them as TikTok ads, and use them as App Store preview clips. So now your app looks validated, proven, and used by many people. Inside the app, create a shareable moment. Users will often see pop-ups like you saved $187 compared to average booking prices when they use your app. Then just add a one-tap share button where users can share this pop-up to their friends and market the app for you. Just like that, we went from an idea to a live app with built-in monetization and a distribution plan. This was done without a team, without months of development, and without writing a single line of code. It's just execution from here. And if you need any help, join my free Discord community where you can network with other builders just like you. Link is in the description. And if you're curious, here's a video I recently made about exactly how to copy an app that's already generating over $10,000 per month. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy building.